Champ, what's going on?
What's going on, man? What?
Oh, you know me, champ. I gotta wear the glasses to get used to the sun. You know,
Gotcha.
right. I got new lights, 2 new lights actually.
Gotcha.
So let me just finish this. Who will headline this year's Mania after WWE releases a video? Okay, perfect. All right. Oh, and let me tag you in it. Okay, what is going on, everybody? Mario Munguia here in Fighting FX, joined alongside Abe Gonzalez, FightsATW.com, my boss. And yeah, we got some topics on deck today, champ. We got some real topics on deck today. Listen, we are going to find out from Abe what he thinks of this WrestleMania video that was posted yesterday by WWE, featuring Triple H, Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Brock Lesnar. What does Abe think about that? We're going to find out. And also, out of this video, assuming that, there are going to be more people wrestling in Mania than the people that were featured in the video, what is a likely WrestleMania main event this year? Where it's going to be with all the context and including the Breaker stuff there. Matt said that he thinks Breaker Roman is still likely for Mania this year. I think he's nuts, but we're going to get to that. We're going to talk about Saturday Night main events and all of the exciting and yet droll kind of stuff. This is the dog days of wrestling and boxing and MMA. The budget winds down and we don't get as much, but are we getting even less than we normally do? And is this based on the fact that both UFC and WWE are basically playing out the clock until January? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a whole bunch more. Abe, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tapping in. What's been going on with you?
Say his name and he appears. Booker G is here. Let's go. Nah, man. Hey, listen. A lot of interesting stuff going on, right? A lot of interesting stuff. But not that I want to get into this, but just remember one name coming up on Saturday night's main event.
Okay.
One name.
Bianca
Belair.
Ooh, I like where you're going with that, champ. I like where you're going with that. Yo, we need these warm lights there. All right. Okay, real quick though, I need to ask you this real quick before we start anything, because we're not going to get to talk about the NXT stuff. We don't have enough time. But man, I need to ask you what's up with the Hardy Boys booking? Did you like that? And I'm not just talking about losing to Dark State, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Dudley's and the Hardys having their match, which Bubba basically goes against his character completely. I felt, I know you and Matt liked it, so did Mex, but I felt like it was terrible. They lose, and then they go on and lose to Dark State a few weeks later. Before we get into anything, because I know you were really appreciating this entire storyline, as was I, did WWE do right by, or TNA and WWE TKO, did they do right by the Hardys with this last 3-month run?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't like how, them dropping the belts to Dark State. I get
right
it.
Away.
Yeah, I get it. They're trying to, build up Dark State. Initially I was excited for the match, but then like looking more into it, it just ended up being like a no DQ match, right?
That's exactly what it was. It was no. It was a TLC match where the tables were Slim Jim tables. That's all.
Yeah, and so I was under the impression that they were. Now this may still happen. I was under the impression that it was going to be more of, the cinematic, broken type match, and
cook.
You know what I mean? And that would be, of value, but I think that there still might be. I think there might
deserve that applause.
Yeah, I think there might be an opportunity for them to still do that. But they just needed to take the belts off of them for them to go back
to have it. Yeah, I agree. When they said that this was going to be broken rules, I mean, how could you not think it was going to be like a Hardy compound or at the very least a cinematic match, like you said? And that's what it should have been. Anything less than that is essentially throwing away the Hardys booking, right? Because I want it to be very clear what this 3-month stretch showed us. Okay. If this was a book, if I took only what the Hardys have been doing and wrote a book, the narrative is this: the Dark State is the best tag team going, and they have the chance to be the future greatest of all time. That's not the story WWE intended to tell. That's not the story WWE wants to tell. But that is, in fact, the story you told by having the booking that you had. You could have stretched that out. Okay, we didn't have to have Dark State tag team titles right away. This could have been a thing where Dark State's like, you know what? I'm tired of y'all being called the best. The Road Warriors were the best. We're going to be the best, and we're going to destroy you in a no holds barred match, whatever. You know what I mean? And let them go at it. Let them go crazy, non-sanctioned, whatever you want to do. We protect the titles for now, because any sort of switching of the belts is systematically, metaphorically, and subconsciously a transfer of the greatest tag team of all time. Now, that's not the way it works. I know it's not. But if you're a casual fan, how do you not look at the Dark State as one of the greatest tag teams right now? After what the Hardys did, after how they were booked over the Dudleys, over a bunch of, over Dark State themselves, by the way, because that's who they won the belts from. You come back and you do this too soon. I'm sorry, it's too soon. You anointed the Hardy Boys as the greatest tag team of all time. Now, they didn't do it, but people like you, Abe, you did it. A lot of other people, or a few other people who had the foresight to see what the Hardy Boys were doing and how special it truly was. I think it was discourteous to them and to this run to have it in so soon. But I hope that you are right, and that this is going to take us into possibly a cinematic universe style match, because the Dark State, I think, has the ability to run that.
Couple things here. There's three things that I want to say about this. One, I wonder if within the NXT world, Dark State is doing good business with merch.
Ooh,
and
great question.
and engagement and awareness, right? The second thing is, I wonder if this is going to lead to NXT version of champion versus champion PLE, where they do a champion versus champion between NXT and TNA. How the main brand does Raw and SmackDown,
Yes.
they'll do a champion versus champion NXT TNA, which would make sense, right? So both of them have titles. The third thing that I would say is that the Hardys are booked to do indie shows here in the next few months. And I wonder if, knowing that the WWE was like, we don't want you carrying the NXT tag titles to these indie shows. Like, if it's not a WWE show, we don't want you carrying.
That's a great point. I didn't think of that, and I appreciate you bringing that, because oftentimes I get a little, let's say, animated. Let's use that word. And it's important for you to bring the context in this, because that is true, 100%. In fact, that sounds like it could just be the reason all by itself. That's an important enough thing to WWE, and we have loads of data points that we could point to over the last 40 years where that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, because the Hardys are booked for, if I'm not mistaken, a West Side Gun show.
Are they
in Atlantic City?
Wow.
Not Atlantic City, but in like Six Flags area. I think it is next week or this week, something like that.
Wow.
It's in New Jersey.
I did not know that. I know that he just dropped a fire ass mixtape. Well, I haven't heard it. I don't know if the content's fire, but the album cover is fire. It is the $1 Million Man with Virgil shaking hands in the ring, and it's a play on their Heels Have Eyes, spelled HEELS. I think it's the third in his series, mixtape series, or second, but I know he's dropped the one or two before.
Yeah, I mean he's cooking. So I'm not sure if it's on their show or if it's somebody else's show. I know West Side Gun booked 5150, which is Limelight and Danny Limelight and Slice Boogie for another show as well. So But yeah, the Hardys are going to be on the road, and I think that might have been part of it.
Yeah, it's now
That was a Vince thing. He never wanted any of his titles to be at another promotion.
it was 100% a Vince thing. It was 100% a Vince thing. And on top of that, it's the culture that they kind of continued, but it's more of like sometimes I wonder if they even know why they're doing these things. And I look, we got to get to Saturday main events, but I really have to bring this up to you, right? I wanted to do a show when I got back from fucking my 14-hour drive right away, just because of the anger that I felt. For you, by the way, not even for me, for you, because first of all, Raw happens a couple weeks ago. We didn't even get to talk about this. You have been on air and on record for, I mean, honestly, as long as we've been doing this show for the last year and a half, and you have been saying how desperately the WWE could be infused with excitement by a Royal Rumble where the title is on the line. And then they go and they pull like a sort of move of this, right? It's like a half in, half out, which I don't understand because CM Punk doesn't have credence to the title. He has credence to a title match. So why not secure a champion? Okay, but that's fine. Whatever. We'll just leave that to the side for now. But look, it just makes it so weird for me to see guys being brought in and being utilized like the Hardys, right? And so the whole point I'm making is I saw this video of Joe Hendry, and you said this months ago. They were ruining this guy. They were giving him nothing, and it was just becoming a joke. And now where is he? Abe, I'm just getting so like frustrated with all of this stuff. Like it's seemingly obvious to everyone else, and yet we keep finding ourselves in these places where we need stars, we need this call up, we need that call up, we need some infusement of excitement, and yet WWE runs these people into the ground for what? For what? Where's the trade-off in all of this? I don't know. I just had to get that out a little bit. The frustration level, champ, the frustration. But look, I want to start with the Mania stuff. You texted me and messaged me, so I know kind of where you're at with this, but I want to get into it. You saw the Mania video, and I'll be playing it in the background. Shout out to Machine Gun Matt Champ. He said, "What do you mean, you people, Mario?" That's funny. I mean the gorilla, the people in Gorilla and Creative. So this Mania thing happens. They drop this skit, right? This trailer, and it's all these guys sitting in a room, very mafia-esque style, I feel like, right? Play on Godfather maybe a little bit. But it's like a movie trailer, right? And Abe, before you go, I don't know if you felt this way or not, but like I'm a big Marvel guy, right? I'm a big Marvel DC guy, love that stuff, right? It felt like what Marvel was doing with what's the new one? King the Conqueror. Abe, you there?
Yeah.
Yo, oh, okay, my bad. You're there it is. My bad. It had scrolled out for a little bit. So they were doing this whole thing with King the Conqueror, right? And now it's Doctor Doom. And it's because the movie fatigue or superhero fatigue they were saying was kicking in. And so now they released this video of a bunch of chairs leading to the Robert Downey Jr. casting of Doctor Doom. None of it's nonsensical, right? I'm not saying it's not cool or it's not needed. And obviously Marvel and WWE understand promoting and networking and all those things far better than I do. All I know is that Marvel is doing it because the ship is sinking and they have to get an extreme amount of buzz, Infinity Wars level buzz on this new Doctor Doom thing. And it feels like they don't have a plan for Mania at all. They don't know what they're going to do. So instead, we're just going to make it look really, really cool. Abe, what are your thoughts on all this?
You know, I was very surprised that Brock Lesnar was on, because now you're telling me that Brock Lesnar is part of the show, and
A big part of the show.
I have to think to myself, well, how's he going to be part of the show? Now, if you rewind maybe 3-4 months ago on this podcast, I said that there was going to be a moment where potentially Brock Lesnar would win the Royal Rumble, right? I did say that on this show. And so I think that that's still in play now. That's in play even more now. And we end up getting a version of, Cody versus Brock Lesnar, or we get CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, and then we end up getting, unfortunately, Cody Roman. Let me go in the direction of Jay Uso versus Roman, at Mania. You know what I mean? Like, let's say if Jay Uso wins on Saturday, making Jay Uso versus Roman, or they do a triple threat: Jay Uso versus Roman versus CM Punk, and do Cody versus Brock Lesnar. Now, this is the other thing. I saw that somebody, was like, "Yo, where the women at that point?" I didn't agree with them, coming out that way and not including the women who are bringing in just as much business.
Yeah,
How
absolutely. I'm so glad you
how
said that.
how they could, if they did
Abe, you're
second
chopping up a little bit. I don't know if it's
yeah,
my connection or if it's your connection, but you're going in and out. Can you hear me?
yeah, my connection is good.
Then it might be mine. See, let me just do this real quick. Okay, there we go. All right. I took it off of my 5G, put it on another one. Oops, you know what? Let's do that. Okay. You there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
It's-
anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry for
they
interrupting.
could have saved themselves by doing a separate video of just the women at the
Great
table,
call. Great call.
right? So you do the men first, and then like a few hours later, you drop the women one, and instead of Triple H, it'd be like Stephanie McMahon in the back, um,
Yes.
at the head of the table type of thing. So themselves they did that. Now they still have time to do that. The opportunity was at that moment when they dropped the original trailer to do the women's one too.
Yeah. No. I agree. I'm so glad you said this too. Hold on. Did WWE drop ball by not including a women's hashtag
Yeah,
WrestleMania?
I don't know why it's in and out. I wonder.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like choppy for some reason. But on
Yeah,
my end, I switched it. It looks like it's okay. Hold on. So women's WrestleMania video. Great, Abe, this is such a great point. This is such a great point. And first of all, this is what I love about you, brother. You're a guy who's not going to come to the table just complaining, right? So many people complain and that's all they do, right? And if you ask me, the state of the world and America specifically is in the shape it's in because of that reason, because so many people, and I'm taking responsibility here. I am one of those people who will bitch and bitch and bitch because it's not right. I have every right to bitch, but I have no answers for it. You see what you just did? That is smart. That is something that comes with experience. That is a reason to listen to you and to read FightsATW.com over the millions of other morons out there doing it because you come with an answer. I loved it. For me, I just blew up. I blew up and I did it for one reason only, because of the men that were attacking me and everyone else saying, man, y'all little soft boys. Man, y'all little woke bitches. Who care? Blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, all of y'all. You know why Roman's over? Because they stuffed him down our throat. You know why Brock's such a big name today, even though he crashed out fucking 15 years ago in front of Mania when they booed his ass out the building? Because they pushed him down our throats. Don't you tell me that it doesn't matter if the women are on there or not. It does. You promote them and they succeed. They get higher. The women were putting out bangers on NXT when the fucking men were putting people to sleep on the big show. Stop playing games. because either you hate women and so you just want to talk shit, or you ain't never seen Bailey and Sasha Banks tear the fucking roof down in Brooklyn. Stop playing. Y'all just want to be little boys and follow people like Andrew Tate and talk that shit. But at the end of the day, the women deserve the chance to either succeed or crash and burn. It's equal. There are equal parts. So if you put Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch or whoever, even Lyra Valkyrie, on that video and they don't do numbers, then at least you're giving them the same opportunity to shit the bed as you did every single guy before. Where's Austin Theory at, champs? Huh? Where's y'all's alpha bro at? He ain't making no rosters, that's for sure, but he's injured, so I'm going to lay off of that. And that was just a point. I like Austin Theory. I'm just saying, y'all want to make these things sound like it's not, like it's just simple math, like it's cut and paste. It's not. You could push Lyra the way you push Roman. She might not be the next Roman, but she might be better than the next Charlotte Flair. You don't know. These are things that we can't understand unless we move forward with them. I'm sorry. That was a huge L for a company that has sucked its own D for years, talking about how they are equal opportunity for women and how they're this. You cannot go out in public and tell people to pat your shoulder for doing one thing and then going and doing the opposite. I'm sorry, but that shit was disrespectful as hell. And Abe, I'm so glad again you came with the answer. That should have been what happened. The women have their own separate. Fine, they ain't got you. And here's the optics of that: the WWE saying the women aren't big enough to sit at the men's table. That's the optics of that. But it's better than them not being on the fucking thing at all. I'm sorry.
Especially when some of those women doing more or just as much or even more in some cases.
Say her name.
Her
name is Rhea Ripley. That's her name.
Yeah,
dude, I can't believe they did that, bro. I can't believe the disrespect.
I mean, and what I mean, even Cody came out public. You know, he said that honoring the merch numbers because in some cities Rhea does more merch than he does, and in other places, you know, he does whatever.
It's true.
Just saying, like, you know, I think that they'll fix it. They'll course correct it. They just should have done it initially.
Yeah, you know, and I don't want to take this anywhere else. I'm not at all. So I'm not even going to explain the context of what I'm saying, which is terrible journalism, but I don't care. If you don't know this, the WWE changed the name of a PLE for a very specific reason, having to do with one of the current wars going on. And they did it within 24 hours, right? The appeasement for certain things and the lack of appeasement for others, I think, shows their clear their what they hold more, what they treasure more over some other things. I'm just going to put it that way. But now getting back into this whole conversation, Abe, based on the video, which I'm going to play while you're talking in the background, what is the main event for Mania, Abe? I need you to tell me, because you gave me a few ideas here, and you don't have to book me a whole road to WrestleMania. That's not what I'm asking. That's not fair. This is what I'm asking for you. I'm asking of you the same thing I asked of Supermex and Machine Gun Matt. I ask, based off of the video and the context that is going on week to week with Raw and SmackDown, what is a likely main event that is actually possible and also the most WrestleMania match you can get? Something that sounds WrestleMania-ish and is also possible. Like, for example, Matt said Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker. And I love Matt, but that does not sound reasonable. It doesn't sound rational. It sounds like a great match, but it doesn't sound like that's something they're going to do right now.
I think that the main event is on both nights is going to consist of all the men that were at the table. However you want to do it. Then why else would you do that then?
I think the same reason that they did the whole Marvel chairs of all the big actors that are going to be in the Doctor Doom Marvel movie, but then you only had Robert Downey Jr. at the end. That's not to say that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in a scene with every single one of those actors. It is to say that once you get to that movie, these are the big names you can expect. That's what I felt like they were trying to portray in that video. I did not see it the way you did. And that is very interesting. I'll be honest with you. If it's more than that, because that's an Easter egg. We're not just talking about a video teaser at that point. That then is an Easter egg of the main event.
Yeah, because then that tells me, and what will validate that point is if Punk wins the title on Saturday.
Mm.
If Punk wins the title on Saturday, and it circles back to that video, all of those guys, some shape or form, will be involved both night 1 and 2 main events. It's the reason why you would do that, I guess. Like if you want to, I don't think that they are
Couldn't it just
necessary.
be a mix of 2 or 3 matches that happen? Like, couldn't it be like, let's say just Lesnar, Roman, and then like CM Punk, Cody, and then somebody else? Like, you know what I mean? Like a triple threat. Like it could also be that, right? It doesn't have to, or even a night 1, night 2 situation, right? Where the room, half of them are going to be main eventing night 1, half of them
Yeah,
be, yeah.
yeah. Basically, that's what it is. I think that they're going away from, little by little. They're going away from the surprise factor when it
Yes.
comes to booking.
You think that's a
Um,
good thing or a bad thing?
I think there was a certain demographic that still appreciated that. Me being one of them. But I think that with the newer, younger audience, they are wanting to know ahead of time what they're getting into.
Yeah, I actually I agree with you a lot on that. I feel like it's dumb because this is one of the things that WWE did best and WWF did best in the past, right? Like people don't even realize that Rock and Stone Cold, Rock and Hogan, like a lot of these matches were only made like several weeks before the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? It's that surprise factor. It's that what is going to happen factor. It's the factor that makes wrestling feel like it's not scripted, right? But now that they are part of the TKO brand, my belief is that they are trying to transition possibly more into like a UFC boxing type of thing where the cards are made well in advance, right? We know for 12 weeks who's fighting. We've known, David Benavidez and Yarde are going to fight. We know they are going to fight. We've been knowing they're going to fight. The ability to, or the attempt to sell the promotion is based on how well you can sell each one of them separately and then at key moments together, right? The weigh-in, the press conference, things like that. Then you also have to utilize undercard stuff, right? But WWE, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't have to work that way. We know that there are certain guys that are going to be in certain positions come WrestleMania time, right? But the fun thing is seeing them in different positions than they are all year. Example, Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry. Did you know that match was happening? No, you didn't, Abe, but you called it. You called it several times. You predicted it would happen without knowing it would happen. Never once was that match promoted on WWE TV, TNA TV, NXT TV, not once. And yet, Abe Gonzalez, if you go back, was saying that Joe Hendry was going to have that match back in February, maybe. And so, and you were calling for a Joe Hendry match like back in November, back when he first started getting really hot. So all
Mhm.
I'm saying is that boxing and MMA don't have the luxury to have surprises like that, right? Because of commissions and because of all these different things that you have to set in stone, weight limits, all of that. For wrestling to act more like those things is a hindrance upon itself. It hinders not only the ability to tell stories, but it hinders your ability to create stars. Stone Cold didn't become a star because Vince McMahon said, go out there and be a star. They sent him out there and he made himself a star. But how many opportunities are you going to get from guys like that if you're not giving them those Joe Hendry chances and that we are booking matches so far out in the future? But I think you're right about that.
But you know what? Also, you got to look at the business part of it. WrestleMania has become this really expensive everything event, right? Um, you can't expect buy-in from people 60 days out from that anymore. As expensive
No
as it
way.
is now,
No way.
you have to plant the seed 6, 7 months so that people can build towards that
You're
to
right.
be able to
You're right.
afford that, right?
You're
Um, and
absolutely right.
and also dropping that now, guess what? Now during the high season, people are gonna be, to book as holiday gift or whatever the case may be for next year, and that's gonna be that Vegas trip. Um, so honestly, I think that they're aware of how much of a financial and to make up for that, they're announcing, hey, these are the guys we're gonna have. If you're wanting to attend, you got 8 months to try to figure it
8
out.
months to figure it out. You got 8 months to sell your house, your kidney, your no, but then you can't take your kids either. Yo, no, that's a very smart point, Abe. Very smart point, and I think you are more right than either of us probably realize. That said, though, I'm looking at this and I'm gonna say it's a singles match, right? And only because I'm just gonna say it, right? Because it's easier to say it. It's easier. I think it's more likely that it ends up being a singles match than anything else. Okay. That said, I feel like there is no way they don't put Brock Lesnar in the main event. I feel like putting him in that position, despite everybody's groans, and there are a lot of people's groans that they're ignoring that they think are based off of everything that's had taken place with the Vince McMahon lawsuit and all of that. And yes, there's a contingency of fans that are not, they're not welcoming Brock back because of that. And I think it's fair for them to be able to say or not say. For me, and I think a larger portion of people, it's just like, it's not even about that only. It's also about, this is just boring. Like, we always do this. This is the fifth time Brock Lesnar's come back, before Road to WrestleMania. It's not anything exciting anymore. It's not what it used to be. Okay. Matt says, we're missing the bigger picture here. I think one of these things does not belong. 3 of those guys are Paul Heyman guys. One of them isn't yet. Ooh, and that's the big crux of this. Does Cody turn before Mania? Abe, what do you think? Does Cody turn before Mania?
I mean, listen, they are the new like corporate WWE corporate faction. It will be some that's maybe a little far, but yeah, I don't know. Excuse me. I mean, as long as he's the numbers at the merchandising table, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I damn this thing. Yeah, no, I think you have to probably be right. I mean, at the end of the day, they are going to see those things. And I think, again, that your answer and what Matt is saying, it speaks to a bigger problem here, is that they are utilizing the merch stands and those data figures to make the things they want to make, but then they're ignoring them straight up when it comes to doing things that they weren't going to do in the first place. So listen, I want to move on to Saturday Night Main Events because I do think that it is tied in. You said that if Punk wins on Saturday, then it will cement a lot of the things that you believe will take place heading towards Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and the road to WrestleMania ultimately. So book it for us then. Tell us, you said if he wins, do you expect CM Punk to walk out with the heavyweight title on Saturday night?
I'm gonna say yes. Jimmy's gonna be the one to cost Jay.
Ooh, that was Matt. Matt said the same thing. Matt had the same booking. However, I need to ask you to clarify: on purpose or on accident? You cut out. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah, I would say both. He's gonna
Both?
he's gonna say it was accidental, make it
But it's
look
going to be really
accidental,
on
but it was
purpose.
intentional.
I love it. I love it. Here's the only thing I don't like about it is it going to be the thing that sets off another 4 weeks of storyline of the it will they won't they? I would prefer for if that's going to happen then Monday be the payoff, right? The big payoff. We find out that it was intentional, right? I don't think we should be playing with this gimmick much longer or this program much longer. They've already ran the Jay versus Jimmy once. And I'm not saying you only can do it once, but that's kind of the crux of it all, right? Like Owen and Brett did it the best, I think. Matt and Jeff did a decent job. They kind of dropped the ball in their Mania match, but they had a really great match other than that. These brother versus brother matches, they're not something that you can just continue to roll out there, right? It just doesn't work that way. What is this towards? Is this towards just a big J heel turn? Like, where do you see this going? Because you can't be saying that you think Jimmy and Jay is like the next big match, right? Or do you think that's what it is?
I'm gonna go back to a couple weeks ago. Solo said he's waiting for that one person.
Yes.
People.
Oh shit! So you think it's Jay?
He's waiting for that one person. I don't know who it is, but he's waiting for that one person, and I think that will set it off. And look, what if right makes Jay the new tribal chief? It says that.
Abe, you cut out, Abe.
Yeah.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Okay, yeah, it cut off for like 5 seconds. I couldn't hear a word you said. I can hear you now.
No, I said, what if Solo makes like Jay the new tribal chief, and then we get Jay versus Roman, like Roman is yesterday's news type of thing, and
go ahead. I'm sorry. You there?
Yeah. The connection is hard, man.
Listen, if you want to jump out and jump back in, that's up to you. But real quick, I do want to say this. Holy shit, that is a great call. I like it. However, I will say this real quick, Abe, if you can hear me. Okay, he just fried out. Listen, here's the thing, right? This is such a smart idea because, but the problem here is this: Solo Sikoa is completely associated with a failed brand, with a loser brand. And I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not even trying to be dismissive. The truth is, Solo Sikoa failed at becoming a bloodline leader. Does it go against his character completely to have Solo come out and say, you know what, Jay, I bestow it upon you? I think it does go against his character, but I think it's great storytelling, right? How did Solo get to this point? What was it about this situation? What are his plans that he's willing to follow somebody else now? Right after he got out of this whole bloodline situation with Roman Reigns and was able to fully cement himself as the leader, right? Even though it was like a faux thing and everybody, called his shit. It's a very interesting thing. Hold on, while we wait for Abe to jump back on. So, for those of you that don't know, I have an autism as well, and I collect Bret Hart figs and stuff like that. Oh, there he is. There's Abe. Chizzy. Oh yeah, your camera looks way better too. You look super clear. So today we are going to open later after Abe jumps off the new Stone Cold fig, and you recognize it as the greatest WrestleMania match to ever live. This is an exclusive from Ringside Collectible, so it's not in stores, right? And it pays tribute to the incredible WrestleMania submission match. We're going to do a live open. It comes with the ring bell. That was such a big part of the match itself. But Abe, real quick, I don't know, you didn't get to hear me because you jumped off. I loved what you said. The whole booking was terrific. Okay, God, why am I so white? Now I will say this though. Do you think that it could end up hurting Jay based on the fact that Solo is that's associating Jay with Solo is associating with a loser brand, a failed brand, a once bloodline attemptee that got knocked off his pedestal? Or can Jay revitalize them as a new leader? What do you think?
I would probably use the word elevate.
Elevate.
I think that I like that elevate word. Them. I think elevate them, and maybe they're counting on elevating them
Yes, I think
and
you could be right about that.
bringing some juice back on them. So I don't know. I think there's something to that. There is definitely something to that. Now, this is the other thing. This may sound crazy as well, but what if Roman Reigns so
What if
on
what? Roman Reigns
Saturday?
said again?
I said, what if Roman Reigns cost Jey Uso the title match on Saturday?
On purpose?
Oh, by accident. But then Jey Uso
Uh
takes it like it was on purpose because he feels like Roman might be a little jealous of him, and all his pop he's become
I think it works. I think it works. The only problem I see with it is like Roman would have to develop a sense of vulnerability that I don't see in him. I feel like his character is at a point where the ego is just too big. I mean, it would be like, and here's the thing: if you're gonna do it, I don't know. You're right. You have a lot there because they're not brothers, but it is that sibling rivalry 100%. You cannot get beyond that. Okay, that's a big aspect of it. However, when Hulk Hogan felt that way, it was because of a Macho Man Randy Savage. When Hulk Hogan felt that way, it was because of an Ultimate Warrior. When Hulk Hogan felt that way, it was, these guys like Sting that were able to match his stardom. Is Jay on the verge of being on that Roman level, or is Jay stuck, cemented, supplanted in that B role that he can never get out of? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like
Abe, I think, dropped completely there. Yeah, he's totally froze. That's all right. We're wait and see if he's able to get
yeah.
the.
Yeah,
Oh, you there?
I think it might be on you. Yeah, I think it might be on your end,
Let me
Mario.
let
Like,
me try to refresh it real quick. Hold on. Okay, you there?
yeah,
All right. Okay, so CM Punk I think does win the title as well. I'm gonna make that booking as well. I think Roman needs to be there. For everything that happened, I think Roman needs to be there. I don't think there could be a situation where they leave him out because again, like this whole era, this whole moment feels like it's being downplayed and it feels like they're waiting for the January, official kickoff or whatever. You know what I mean? Like this big road to WrestleMania taking place in this ESPN era. It's huge and they know they have to bring out like the biggest of moves, right? So yeah, I think that does work. Okay, so I want to move on to the Jade Cargill stuff real quick with you because this is a huge thing for me. I think that the aspect of Jade Cargill being challenging for the title, there's so much outside noise on this that I can't call it, man. I mean, part of it is Tiffany Stratton seems like she needs a break. Machine Gun Matt made that point last week, I think, or yesterday actually as well. And I think he's right. I think she could use a break, come back established as a real heel or a real face. This in the middle shit doesn't work for her at all. Okay. So going down that route, you also have Jade now. Can you switch it to the champion? Can you switch her? Does WWE feel confident enough in her ability to not just be the champion, but to act like a champion? I do think she has that. And I think they know she has that. So then it comes to this point. Does WWE feel almost like they have to hold her back just a bit because they are scared of creating an ultimate warrior type? Somebody who has and blows up and takes all of those chips on their side and reignites them for a future contract signing. We all know what happened with the Ultimate Warrior. They pushed him to the moon, and when he got to the moon, he said, "Brother, you pay me more, or we ain't going a step further." And they did, and then they let him go right away. And so are they scared of turning Jade into a huge star? I think there is a worry there. Abe, what do you see there in the Jade match, and who do you think walks out with the championship on Saturday night.
Yo, Jade on Friday gave me Zeus vibes.
Oh, that turn. I mean, oh, that nasty work.
She gave me Zeus vibes. But listen, I think Bianca Belair makes herself part of the match somehow, some way, whether it costs Jade or it costs Tiffany. But I think she gets involved. Now, if you're going to make Jade, then Bianca helps Tiffany win. And then then Jade really gets into, and we get the Jade Bianca Belair match that we've been wanting to get for a long time. And
That's a good one.
So yeah, I think that's what ultimately happens. I don't think he gets the title on Saturday.
Yeah, I think your booking is great. If they go that route, I would love to see a Bianca Belair Jade feud done properly, and it doesn't need the title. These two women erupted the Royal Rumble crowd when they faced off a few years ago, back when Jade made her debut. That they knew at that moment, this is a match we have. This is a real match that we have at the highest level. We could make this work. My fear is that Tiffany Stratton, there's no plans to have her walk into the road to WrestleMania with the title. And if it's not Jade, then my fear is it ends up being Nia Jax or somebody that they have just as a placeholder until they enact the story that they're ready to tell. But if they can strap it on Jade this weekend, and if they can build to that Bianca match where she is the face and Jade is the heel, brother, I think they're cooking with grease right there. They got something real that they can make that has not just like big PLE feud matches, but a potential long-running program based on multiple feuds, based on multiple things. Uh, all right. There we go. Okay. So yeah, man. I loved your booking there. I really do. But I'm gonna go with Jade, dude. I'm gonna go with Jade.
I'm thinking about it. It might very well be Jade. And then you get Bianca Belair to win the Royal Rumble again.
That's a good question, dude. And that was what Matt had made a point of yesterday. That's an interesting question you bring because it's layered, right? They're looking for that girl, or that woman. They're looking for that woman, that superstar, right? To elevate and to be that next person, right? You know what they're looking for? They are looking for the Braun Breaker in the women's division. And I think instead of just looking for that next star they can strap on and sell 1 billion shirts, they should be looking at the story that they can tell to elevate them, right? Rhea Ripley, if you remember, she wasn't the biggest star coming out of NXT. Not at all. They put her in some very high level, high stake programs with Charlotte Flair, and that elevated her. That, sent her to the moon. So I think they could do the same thing with Jade. Now, this is the one that I have to ask you about with Cody and Drew, because you have been on this for a very long time. Since last year, you have been talking about the changes in Cody's reception. While you have never once questioned his ability to be at the top as a face, you have said that the programs are growing a bit stale, and I can see it in Cody. And now, for those that don't know, there was a story heading into the last PLE, and Cody was pitching to lose that match, and Randy be the reason he lost. Cody knows that his time as the champ is waning down. How he gets out of that, I think, is very important for the next several years for him. Abe, is there any chance Cody walks out of Saturday night without the title?
No, not
None. Wow.
No, guy. Drew is the guy to do it. Cody's going to remain champion. Yeah, he's just not the guy to do it. It's as simple as that. They're gonna do it. It's gonna be somebody else. It's not gonna be Drew. Um, but Saturday might be the moment where Cody takes it a little,
Ooh, I like that. And he gets
takes
dark
it a
with it,
little.
right? Because you've been
Gets
calling it too,
started.
dog. You said it like fucking a year ago. You were like, dude, haven't you noticed his suits are getting a little blacker, a little darker? And it played, dude. It was like this dark gray into this like, and then he started wearing black these last few weeks. And even when it's like a gray color over him, he's got a black tie or black undershirt. Like, there's something there for a guy who utilized color so much in his suits. Don't tell me that that is not some sort of Easter egg. Don't tell me that is not a guy in Cody Rhodes who understands the level of storytelling in wrestling better than maybe anybody on the roster today, right? Coming from the family he's come from. Don't tell me that he doesn't go out there every single night and utilize his promos, his wardrobe, his entrance, every aspect is calculated. And so I have to believe that that is calculated as well. So Drew does not get over on Cody. Any shenanigans
Listen,
you expect?
but hold on. But I want to add something. I think that Cody's taken a chapter out of Matt Hardy's book, right?
Really?
Matt Hardy didn't go from Matt Hardy to like deleted Hardy, right? Overnight. It was a slow build. Part of his hair would go, would be blonde, and then more
Yes.
of it, then more of it, right? I think it's something like that. And listen, I'm watching, even though it's old, and I told you, like, I'm watching Highlander again. I'm sorry, The Boys,
The
and
boys, yeah.
and
And that Highlander character, right?
Highlander, that character, how he was, the face of the company and smiling there, but deep down inside, he just wasn't right and happy with himself, what he was doing. He felt like, I think that might be what he, what he turns. He's putting the out for the cameras because that's what he's being told to do. But he doesn't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he does either. I think he's very tired of it. I really do. Um, oh shit. I want to move on though, but I do want to ask you, do you expect anything like kooky there with the Cody Rhodes match? You think Randy
No.
comes out? Anything? No, right? And that's the worst part of this is it just feels like so meaningless.
Would you be upset though? DQ schmaz?
No, I mean, I wouldn't even care at this point. And that's the worst part is I don't care. I don't care because I never expected Cody to lose in the first place. They didn't build Drew as a legit challenger to the title. They built him as a badass, and that's great. I love Drew McIntyre. I think he absolutely could win the title and be the guy that at least takes it to the road to WrestleMania, right? Um, but no, I don't think they expect anything. Listen, what they have going right now on Raw is everything. Okay. If you haven't noticed, LA Knight looks like $1,000,000 every freaking night. And that guy is so far from a title match or so far from holding the title, it's not even funny. So that's part of it, right? The Jimmy, Roman triangle, that's everything right now, as far as I'm concerned. You got Breaker and where he's at. And that to me is the crux of this, Abe. And we have to talk about it. Breaker's not even on this damn show, dude. He's not even on the show. They took him out of the Battle Royal, and Matt said it. I get it. They got to protect him. Fine. But what plans did you even have? Why even turn him in the first place on Seth and just not even have Seth come out with a fucking knee brace again or elbow brace, whatever the hell? It doesn't matter. All I know is that you turned him simply because Seth was hurt. There was never any plan to do it. And now you have no plans of what to do with him. And I'm sorry, but it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic for Triple H or anybody in creative to weekly book Paul Heyman trying to convince Breaker to wait, giving these historical data points. Oh, well, Brock Lesnar came in and he got kicked out, and then they fought The Rock at WrestleMania. Shut the F up. You know damn well Breaker's not fighting The Rock, Roman Reigns, or anybody else at Mania, champ. At the end of the day, if they're not going to put the strap on Breaker, then he should be breaking everything in his place. He should be putting Adam Pearce in the hospital. He should be doing whatever he wants every single week to build that guy up if you're not going to be the champion. Abe, how much does it piss you off that Breakker is not even in this equation at all? Or does it?
It's not pissing me off because I think that the payoff is going to be worth it.
Okay. What do you how long are we talking about this payoff? When does this payoff happen, do you think? What's the time? If it's more than 6 months, it's bullshit.
No, but I mean, I think this is building towards either a Rumble win. And I said that as well, right?
I remember
him having a strong Rumble and maybe winning it, or Brock.
You did book that for the 2024. You said he was going to be the Roman Reigns King guy, and then that would give him the chance to win the next year. You did say that. Damn, champ. Hey, if y'all didn't know, Abe's got a direct source inside the WWE Creative Writers Room. Don't tell me any other way. I don't want to hear no other bullshit. That's the truth.
Yo, the problem is that they've had to pivot a lot because of injuries. Have killed some of those stories. They've had to themselves right now and hoping that happens that is big in regards to
yeah. I can't fault them for that, right? Can't fault them for having injuries derail the programs. I get that. I do. I don't know, man. I just think Breakker has so much to offer right now. It's unfortunate. But yeah, I do think the payoff should be good when it does indeed happen. Abe, you froze, so I'm not sure. Are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. My bad. You're there. So I wanted to bring this to the last topic for the day, or the last topic for Saturday Night Main Events, because I want to tie it to something else. The match was made. Penta and Rusev will challenge Dom for the IC title in a program that I felt was a little bit convoluted at first, but I think it's worked itself out pretty well. Rusev and Penta have been booked in a position that make it tough to see Dom cheating his way out of it. And I think that's exactly what they wanted. But before we get into the booking itself, Abe, something happened this past weekend in one of the shows that Dom was performing at. And I'm not sure if you heard about it, but he was struck in the head by a coin and it caused a cut. Did you hear anything about this? Abe, I think you're completely froze now. There we go. Okay, you there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your camera's much more clear too.
I think it just might be on your end that
it might be. Yeah, it might be. So I wanted to ask you real quick. Did you hear about the Dom stuff about the coin hitting him in the eye?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain it to you real quick, and then I'm gonna ask you your thoughts on it. So this is the video that I want to talk to you about real quick, and this is JBL talking about this incident. Now, what is important to know is that there is a tradition in Mexico, specifically lucha libre, where coins are thrown into the ring. Now, if you ever watch New Japan, they use the papers, and they throw them in. It's really festive. It looks really cool. This is a little different, right? And Mexico is a very different place for wrestling. Going as a child to Lucha Libres in Laredo and the Valley and just on the other side of the border, they were intense. The fans get very, very intense. So this is a video of JBL speaking about this, and I want to get your thoughts.
Finger throwing coins at Dom, you dumbasses. And you dumbass finger throwing coins at Dom, you dumbasses. And you dumbasses for throwing it. You're throwing, you got him busted open that bloody. That's not throwing him coin in the ring for, hey, here's something really cool for you. That's throwing a coin at Dom. So don't tell me about your stupid Mexican traditions and all this bullshit about how WWE is going to keep this tradition. No, you throw these guys out of the arena, because what they're doing is they're trying to make the heel or baby face, whatever he is down there. He's both, I think. Blink. That's why they throw shit at you. They throw shit at you, to make you flinch or whatever else. And they think it's funny. That's what they're doing. This isn't an old tradition of, hey, we love you so much with throwing coins at you. They're throwing coins at him to hit him. So bullshit on all you guys out there saying, oh, this great tradition of Mexican love, showing your love for these guys. Bullshit. This is a bunch of idiots throwing coins at somebody, trying to bust them open just like they did. They'd throw shit at me, but it was like Puerto Rico, where they'd throw like little bitty single A batteries or double A batteries at you, or they wouldn't throw money. They would throw all kinds of shit at you. In Puerto Rico, they have kids would sell rocks outside the arena so you could put rocks in your pocket and throw it at the wrestlers.
So that is actually a lie. He's convoluting a very historic thing they do in Puerto Rico, that the kids aren't selling rocks to throw at the fucking wrestlers. They're selling biblical and historical things that, I mean, honestly, they're cheap as shit and they're just trying to make a buck. Like, but anyway,
they used to throw all kinds of shit. When we were in, where was it? It was down the border from.
Okay, that's enough. We don't need to hear the rest of this shit. Okay, so Abe, I want to ask you first and foremost, are you aware of this, and what are your thoughts on this entire thing, real quick?
I get what he's saying. I don't know. I don't think that he communicated it the right way. I just think that, probably I think because he's been in the situation where, that can damage or or derail somebody's career for a while, right? And
yes.
Or completely, derail their career, right? And so I get his frustration for Dom, right? And I just think that he could have communicated it better. If anybody is going to be upset, it would be Dom. And if he went on a rant about it, then cool. If he didn't, then maybe he wasn't as upset about it as what other people are for him. But that could also be him taking one on the chin, I guess, so to speak, right? And say,
well said.
That it comes with the territory, and he could have been upset about it at first, but his pops, oh, that's just what it is. It's almost like a battle wound, right? Something that you can say that you got that from being in a traditional, lucha libre kind of event. And
bro, you are on another level, dog. Because listen, what you're saying, listen to the way JBL tells his story. He tells it like it's a battle wound. He tells it like it's a war story. Like he's proud that he survived this crazy battery throwing place. And look, I have long called cap on this shit, because they always try to make it sound like it's Puerto Ricans or it's Mexicans or it's these, and that's not true. That's not true at all. I've been to a wrestling match in the thick of Central Texas. Okay. Not a black or brown person in sight for miles. And a lot of these rednecks, they get crazy, bro. They get super crazy. They're throwing beer bottles in the ring. Don't forget where New Jack almost killed a man. All right. That was in Alabama. That was in Mississippi. Those fans were chanting the N-word, talking about they were going to hang him. Come on, bro. That's the thing that bothers me, right? You're trying to call out a system of bullshit. And I get it, because he's absolutely right. The main point is, bro, we're in 2025. If you're still throwing batteries or coins, you deserve to be kicked out of the arena, never come back, even be charged. You know what I mean? That's assault, brother. That's assault. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be doing that shit. But at the end of the day, and here's the other thing I appreciate, right? Like active wrestlers can't sound like whiny bitches, right? Even though I don't think it'd be whiny bitches, but of course the bullshit toxic male fans are going to be like, oh, you're a bitch, blah blah. He's right, and the fact that wrestler who's no longer wrestling is sticking up, that's the way it should be, right? The guys that can say something should be saying something for the guys that can't. But man, is the worst guy of them all. The guy that bullied like 50% of the roster that came in from ECW and WCW, the guy that has had so many stories of him bullying people and all this stuff. Like, I don't know. JBL, to me, I see zero value in what he brings. I really don't think he has a huge fandom. I think most people that know his career know it for what it is. And I don't know. He talks way more than I think he should. And I think that was a bullshit comment the way he made it. And I think you said it perfectly. His point was correct. He communicated like an idiot.
Yeah, and this is the other thing. Dom, as savvy as he is,
Yes.
will take that and flip it crazy and bring the most amount of heat on him possible. Like I could see him.
You're right, bro.
Yo, I could see him coming in to like the next event out there with like a football helmet on or something.
That would be hilarious.
And just antagonizing the crowd even more. Like, hey, you want to throw stuff? Okay, throw it now. Like, you're not gonna hurt me. It's the thing. And so, and
bro,
of that, and
you're so good at this, dude. You're so good at this. Oh my god. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then on top of that, win the AAA title to make it even worse.
Oh, that would no. I got it. You know what he does? He wins the AAA title, right? Let's say it's a Saturday. Before Raw on Monday morning, he posts himself with the title walking into a Walmart with a huge bag of coins for the coin machine that you've turned into dollars, and he just fucking pours it in, and he's like, thank you, AAA fans. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, just trolling the shit out of him. He gets like $100 out of it. Bro, hilarious. That would be hilarious. Now, onto the match, though. I can't see Dom losing the title, Abe, but man, I feel like they don't pay off Penta and Rusev here. They look like a couple of chumps. What do you think ends up happening? What is the booking for Saturday Night Main Events?
If they're gonna change titles, they're gonna give it to Penta, and Dom goes and conquers AAA World.
And that's something you think will already happen though, regardless, right?
Yeah. But I think he's got to give up the IC title first.
You think so?
But see, this is the thing. Dom doesn't need the IC.
No, not at all. Not anymore.
He doesn't. Penta does. Penta can benefit from that.
He would very much benefit from the IC title.
Yeah. And so I think that he's at a point where they brought him in, they're making money, and he's like, okay, well, let's add the title now.
Got to pay off. Yeah, exactly.
And, you know what I mean? And keep Dom doesn't need the title no more. He's right where Rhea Ripley was, right? Drop the title, boom, still be very big, and
Yeah, and you know, I would say this too, like, and I've always liked Rusev. I've always thought he was underutilized in WWE, AEW. That said, the fans are not responding to him at all. Yeah. It's not like they're booing. It's not like they're cheering. They're doing nothing. The indifference is what is telling me everything. And I think to put the IC title on him now would be detrimental to the IC title. So, yeah, I can't see that. At the end, I think Dom ends up winning. But I do think that you're right. I think he drops the IC title before he goes and officially conquers AAA. Go ahead.
I think in a tag team, bro.
Bro, I think they needed that yesterday.
Yeah.
Like a month ago. And I don't know. That's a whole other story to get into. The frustrations of seeing both of them in need of tag team partners and just like rotating these guys. And oh man, it's been just absolutely terrible. Listen, those were the wrestling topics, Abe, but I was wondering if you could just stick around for 5 more minutes. I just wanted to go over one boxing topic. Can you do that? Or quick? We're going to do it quick. So Devin Haney was on Ariel Helwani's show this week. Actually today, I think. and he talked about a story that you've been covering, and you've been all over. And I thought it was very important to get your take on this stuff. Let me see. Okay, here it is. So it's a 3-minute clip, but it's only a minute and a half that I'm gonna show you. So here it is, real
Yeah,
quick.
I saw the clip.
You saw it. Okay, so then tell me, what do you think about what Devin Haney said? I'll play it after you roll out, since you know what I mean?
Yeah. On which part? The top rank part?
The top rank stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So this is my thing, right? People are, fans fights being on pay-per-view, right? What happened to fight they want everything else. But then does fights on platforms that are accessible to people and not hard to find. So they did In a Way fight on Facebook. They did they're doing Michaela Mayer fight on Tubi and Roku and the other one and
Plex, right? Or
Pluto
no,
Pluto TV.
Pluto. Thank you.
But they're to download and you can watch it there. You got like Devin, almost kind of like an Ariel as well, like making fun of them for doing those shows on free platforms. And I get it's because they don't have a media rights partner. But you're making fights on available platforms for free for the fans to watch.
Yes.
Like, why are you, not Haney, but just fans in general, why are you so wrapped up with the fact that the fights is available for free on a platform when you're complaining about it being on pay-per-view on the other hand? Like, which one is it? I wasn't complaining that on Facebook. That was readily accessible. I'm glad that it was on Facebook because I didn't have to pay for anything, and I was able to watch it in my bed on my phone. But folks out here like complaining about that, and Devin Haney about it, and that just didn't make any sense to me. Obviously, he's got an issue with Todd the Buff and some of the other guys. When they brought that name up, he kind of just like skipped over it. He still has love for Bob. Just think that folks, saying, whatever they're going to say about Top Rank at this point, yeah, they don't have a media deal. That's kind of on them. It could be maybe because they had something that was like agreed upon, but other things came up after the deal ended and delayed things or squashed things. And sometimes that happens in business, and they just maybe didn't see it, or they were overconfident of the situation and thought that they would get something right after ESPN, and they didn't, and that's on them. But at the end of the day, they've been around longer than a lot of the other guys, right?
Yep.
They're gonna do something. It may not have taken a couple weeks after or announced before. It looks like it's a couple months after their deal ended, but they're gonna do something. Something is gonna happen. I have to, say that, all this, and I've been, talking about Top Rank going to Warner Brothers Discovery for a while now, for almost
a while.
year. Has something to do. Reported that before. Warner Brothers ain't gonna make a major purchase or an acquisition in the middle of a sale of a merger. You just don't do that. Right now, Comcast seems like they're at the table, trying to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. Off. Let me see. Paramount looks like they're out because the latest offer that they submitted was, according to Warner Brothers, like a low offer. So, these things are still working. No, I mean, it's resolved sooner than later. Do we see the Top Rank announcement early after? I would have to say yes. The only exception to that is if Top Rank did a deal with somebody else, but it doesn't. If Top Rank did a deal with somebody else, I think that they would have already announced it by now.
I think you're right.
But who knows? Maybe who knows? I mean, there's a lot of different things going on with a lot of these networks. Some of these networks are splitting departments from streaming to like the linear networks, and a lot of different things going on with that. So who knows what happens? But I don't know. I think laughing about it is a little immature, but at the end of the day, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. Top Rank is going to be in business one way or the other. Right now, they're showing fights on their platforms for free for us. I don't see what the big issue is.
Well said. Thank you very much for first of all giving us some of the information, and keeping us tapped in. I think you're absolutely right about this, and I'm sure that if people are really concerned about this and aren't just talking shit to criticize promotions that they've hated forever or whatever, then they'd be willing to wait to see what happens. And if that is you and you're a person who's fair and balanced and really actually does like boxing and appreciate it, then you can do the best thing, and that's go to FightsATW.com and bookmark it, because Abe has been all over this story for months. All of the lies and bullshit that you've been hearing could have easily been debunked by reading 2 articles that Abe's put out in the last 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. So I urge you go there. I urge you to go and read the back catalog to get yourself caught up. Do not let the internet and social media convince you of things that are not true. Follow the people that are actually having conversations with Bob Arum, actually having conversations with Top Rank, actually have connections to the networks and the big wigs that make these decisions. So I urge you to go to FightsATW.com. Abe, thank you so much, man, for coming through. Appreciate everything you do for us and all the context you bring to the show, champ. You want to give out your socials?
Yeah, man. On X at AbeG718. On Instagram as well. YouTube page is AbeG Buying. With TikTok is at AbeG. The website is FightsATW.com. Fights around the world.
Appreciate it, champ. I'll talk to you soon.
Right.
Appreciate it. Yo, that was Abe Gonzalez, FightsATW.com. And right now we're going to go ahead and play this video in case you didn't get to hear it. Shout out to Boxing and Barbecue, and shout out to Goodman, Jed, very, very knowledgeable guy who has always kept me up on the numbers and the ratings and stuff like that. Definitely 2 good guys to follow there. But here is what Abe and I were speaking about.
What do you make of the state of Top Rank, though? Like, he's a Top Rank guy fighting on that. What do you make of the state of Top Rank, though? Like, he's a Top Rank guy fighting on this card, Abdullah Mason. They don't have a TV home. They haven't put on an event since July.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I mean, I don't know how much longer Top Rank got.
You think so?
Boxing. I mean, I know they had a great run.
Amazing run. Legendary
It's
run.
coming down to an end.
You think so? I think that would be bad.
Why?
For boxing? I mean, that's one of the top promotions
Oh my
in
God,
America. It's
dude,
them.
I'm sorry, dude. What the fuck? Devin, you just asked why? Bro, this is the problem, man. This is the problem right now. Okay. Do you know how many years of fucking shit that I could bring you on Floyd Mayweather, the Peterson brothers, Tim Bradley, Alexander Ortiz? There is a line of fucking names that I could give you that will tell you why competition in combat sports is a fucking good thing. Devin Haney has, I mean, wow, I can't imagine being less educated on the sport than a person who's actually fighting in it. How on earth could you believe that Top Rank going out of business could be a good thing for anyone else other than the people that own the other platforms? Like, you think it's good for So let's just like do a little like breakdown, right? Because I'm not gonna treat people like idiots. That's not fair. Let's say that, you know, I am in line to buy a computer. Okay. And I'm going to buy a computer. I need it for streaming, right? Mine's old. Windows 11's out now, and some of the computers don't get it. So I'm going to go and I'm going to buy it. Okay. I'm going to buy a computer. Well, what options do I have? I have a lot, right? I have HP, I have Dell, I have Apple, I have a bunch of different routes I can go. And that doesn't even include all the gaming systems, right? That are much too expensive. But let's say then the next day, tomorrow, Apple buys Dell. And then they buy HP, and the gaming people can't compete anymore because Apple owns everybody. And now all of a sudden there's only one place to buy a computer. Do you know what happens to that price? Do you know what happens? Do you know why the most capitalistic country in the free world has monopoly laws? Do you think Monopoly is just a game by Hasbro? I don't even know if it's by Hasbro. Whoever the fuck is by it. Bro, I can't imagine giving a dumber answer than, do you think that top rank going away is a bad thing? Yeah, why? Why would it be a bad thing? Holy shit, bro. This is what happens when the fighter's in a good place, right? When they're making money, when there's like a lot of fights out there, and people are always saying, "Oh, I want to see Devin versus him, Devin versus that guy, Devin versus the winner of this one." When you are hot like that, yeah, you don't give a fuck how many promoters there are. You don't give a shit because you're getting paid. But take another loss. Take about 2 losses. See what happens then. See how many people are out there looking for your services. And so when people are looking for your service and more people are out there, you're going to get a more competitive price, right? The problem with the sport in the 2000s, 2010s was that there were only 2 institutions, HBO and Showtime. Now there were, NBC was doing some little shows and main events. Kathy Duva really did a lot with that small budget. There are a lot of people that have shown that you can do high level good work on boxing, with this. But man, at the top level, to have a major market or a major contributor to the sport like Top Rank just go belly up, that's a representation of your sport dying, champ. Like, imagine the Cowboys just went out of business tomorrow. You think that the NFL wouldn't feel that? The Lakers, let's say the Lakers just fucking got sold to like fucking Canada. They're like now the Toronto Lakers. You don't think that has an impact on the entire league? Champ, you are so lost on this, champ. And I get it. You got to go to fucking boxing every day, and you got to, spar, and you got to hit mitts. And there's so much mental activity and acumen that goes into training for the sweet science that you might not have room to learn a lot of other aspects of the sport from the outside of the ring perspective. But damn it, champ, you better fucking get caught up right now, because that was the dumbest shit I ever heard you say. Real talk. Yo, where's your dad at, man? He need to be teaching you.
I wonder where all their fighters are gonna go.
Yeah. Well, now you got like Richard Torres is a big name. He's fighting on some.
I wonder where all their fighters are gonna go. Bro, he sounds like a casual. What are you talking about? This isn't the WWE and the WCW, champ. What the fuck are you
random
talking
card.
about?
Michaela Mayer is fighting.
I seen one fighter today. He's fighting on Tubi.
Yeah, Michaela Mayer is on like Top Rank Classics tomorrow. No, it's like I don't even know what that is. Inoue fought on.
Yeah, you know why you don't know what it is, Ariel? Because you don't fucking watch boxing. That's why. Because you're a fucking grifter. What are you talking about? No, you know what? I like Ariel, though. I do. I like Ariel. I respect someone who covers wrestling, boxing, and MMA just like I do, right? It's like Machine Gun Matt said yesterday. Machine Gun Matt on these airways, he said it best. When you cover all these sports, you can only ever be a master of one. You can't be a master of them all, right? You don't know what that is, Ariel, because you don't watch boxing for real, right? You are paid by DAZN to keep up with a certain area of boxing. But boxing has always worked as a global sport. So to not understand what's going on in Japan or with Top Rank or PBC or Matchroom or any of the other mid-level to high-level promoters, that's you lost in the sauce on the whole sport. You're complaining about free fights, champ? You're complaining about free fights? That is the most dishonest conversation I've ever heard. what's really going on here is Devin Haney is trying to make the narrative, well, they didn't pay me what they should have paid me. They didn't give me everything they should have gave me. And now they're going belly up because they lost me. Man, you know how many bigger fighters they lost than you, champ? You know how many bigger fighters have fought under the Top Rank banner only to leave, and they're still here today? And listen, I needed to be very clear. I'm not cheerleading for Top Rank at all. I am a fan of boxing. I'm cheerleading for boxing. And the more promoters and the more networks involved, the better. Okay. The problem again was that in the 2000s and heading later, there was a Cold War between Golden Boy and Top Rank. And that Showtime HBO divide hurt the sport very, very badly. Okay. So then on the other side of it, right, then you had the PBC spill out or fallout. And even though they were on a bunch of different networks, it was only one promoter, Al Heyman, PBC. So that wasn't the same thing at all, right? We have to have multiple platforms associated with multiple promoters if the idea of fairness is what's in play. So many people want DAZN or PBC or whoever to be the only brand like the UFC. But what you don't understand is the UFC works the way it does because they don't have the Muhammad Ali Act. They don't have certain securities for fighters, okay? You ask and you go and do the research how much UFC fighters get paid versus the mid-level fighters in boxing. When you see the difference in how the layout of the structure of their business platform is laid out, then you'll understand why Dana White is reluctant to get into boxing before they secure the elimination of the Muhammad Ali Act. Then you'll understand why he can't just go out there and compete in boxing the way he does with the UFC, because the structure would not lay out a way for him to do it. Right now, he'd have to compete with much higher numbers than they're capable of paying. You're not going to get the biggest fighters in the world just because you're Dana White. No, you're going to get them because you're Turkey and you're giving them all that money. But ultimately, boxing does not live and die with Turkey. It does not live and die with DAZN, and it does not live and die with Ring Magazine. Okay, boxing is a global sport. And for the biggest promoter in the history of the sport in the United States to go belly up, that is a sign that your sport is dying. That is not something to be happy about. It's not something to be laughing about. At the end of the day, Devin, if you fought on more free TV, you might be a bigger star today. Most people don't even acknowledge you as an undisputed champion or any of these things. You're playing into the bullshit narrative of the internet by engaging in these types of conversations like this. You seem like you're wishing not well, but you're wishing ill will upon these people. And believe it or not, your point in your career may come where you need them. And when that day comes, you just hope that I'm not still on these airwaves, because I will not forget this interview. Not one bit. Not one fucking bit. And if you think that this conversation is a good one for boxing fans, it's not. It's not. This is two people essentially making fun of the sport without realizing they're making fun of the sport. And that's because they're not as tapped in as this community.
Facebook.
That's the truth.
That sucks, man.
And
What sucks about having access to millions of people watching your fights? What sucks about that? What's that? You know what didn't suck for you, Devin? Let me tell you what didn't suck for you. What didn't suck for you is that they didn't make your fight free last time. They put it behind a paywall. And thank God for you, because if more people would have watched it, you're damn right, more people would have become Devin Haney fans. The fandom for the Devin Haney ship may have come crashing down if it was free on NBC or ABC. So yeah, you might be fortunate that fewer people saw your fight, but to rag on Tubi or Facebook or any of these platforms, right? And then it's like, you're talking about Michaela Mayer. What do you want, a pay-per-view? I'm sorry. That is the problem with this sport right now, is people like Devin Haney and Ariel Helwani believe that the future is in pay-per-view, and that should be the means for which we gauge successful fighters and successful promotions. It's bullshit. It's counterproductive. And at the end of the day, this entire conversation was in bad faith. The entire conversation was done to set up these moments. It's bullshit. This was all for clickbait. This was all for the fucking Top Rank haters. And by the way, let's make it very clear what's going on here. You have a DAZN hired fight ringside interviewer, and then you have a guy who's making his debut on Rider Season in Devin Haney. So these are two DAZN shields, basically trying to set up the narrative that Top Rank needs DAZN. I mean, for all we know, this is DAZN telling them, hey, you need to put the screws on Top Rank. Now, I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying, doesn't it feel a little weird that the guy that covers all that loves boxing, apparently, even though he hasn't covered it for, very long, like the way he has recently, I mean, this guy is hoping for the crash out. I don't know. What is he? And Ariel is like trying his hardest to be like smart about this, right? He's like, oh, I don't think it's a good thing if Top Rank goes. Yeah, of course it's not a fucking good thing. And yet y'all are laughing like it's something funny. These are fighters, bro. These are people that go through the same shit.
And Abdullah Mason's on the card. He's a huge deal, I think. I think he's a superstar in the making. Do you agree?
Yeah. Oh, hell.
Bro, why the fuck would and see, look at what he just did. Did you see what Ariel Helwani just did? Look, watch. I'm gonna show y'all one more time.
Oh yeah.
Brian Norman. He's do you like, I don't even know what that is. In a way, fought on Facebook.
That's
so what? So fucking what? Who did he fight against? Oh, you don't know his name? That's cool.
That sucks, man.
And
that sucks, man. No, you know what sucked is you begging Showtime to fight on fucking Friday night, bro. No, you know what? I'm not going to tell secrets.
Abdullah Mason's on the card. He's a huge deal, I think. I think he's a super.
Okay. He said Abdullah Mason's a huge deal. Now watch what he does right after that. The validation that he needs from Devin Haney to make sure that that's okay to say. It's okay, right? Abdullah Mason's good, right? Doesn't he look good? Can you validate me? Because I don't really know what I'm watching. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Superstar in the making. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Brian Norman.
And look at Devin, so horny to be on Ariel Helwani's show. Hell yeah. That wasn't a fucking silly, stupid ass, basic, casual question.
He's on, they're just, all the fighters are kind of getting dispersed into the wild. But I feel like,
oh, you mean what's happened a fucking dozen other times? What are you talking about, bro? It's happened to PBC, Golden Boy, fucking Top Rank, a billion times. Like, everybody's done this. What are you talking about? In between deals, you get dispersed in different ways. We've seen fighters fight on YouTube when the deals weren't done and stuff like that. Look, ultimately, is it bad that Top Rank has taken this long to secure a deal? Yes. Is it likely that they thought they'd have a deal by now? Yes. Is it also true, not fact, but true, that they have had deals on the table that just weren't worked out? Yes, absolutely. We have plenty of reporters who have had, let's not say quotes, let's say stories that, yes, there have been, deals and conversations with Netflix, Paramount, DAZN. So to act like there's no interest there, that's false. That's a false equivalent. Don't do that, right? So then what is the story? So then what are you suggesting? What is the narrative? Well, it feels like the narrative is, shouldn't Top Rank just take anything by now? And by anything, shouldn't they just take the DAZN deal by now? I mean, they're already on DAZN. And you know how many casual fans out there think that they already have a secret deal with DAZN? The filthy casual on Twitter, shout out to him, by the way, champ. He put something like, shouldn't Top Rank already be fighting on DAZN or something like that? And some dude on the comments was like, if you can't put 2 and 2 together, brother, I don't know how to help you. This has obviously been going on. Like, what? You think that they have a fucking deal and haven't announced it? These are the kinds of casual fans that people see comments from and think that they know what they're talking about, and they don't. They don't at all. This guy's so lost. He has no clue. And he's talking about 2 plus 2 equals 4. No, 2 plus 2. Yeah, that equals 4. But then subtract all the dumb shit that you're saying because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Ultimately, this makes me upset because you're ragging on a sport that you claim
for the sport in America.
They throwing him to the wolves. They throwing Brian Norman to the wolves, man.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
They don't got no home.
The guy that just fought on DAZN with no fucking home. The Yo. Oh my God, dog. Oh, Devin Haney is so lucky that very few people pay attention to what he said over the years or have followed his career. He was in the same position. The same position. The whole listen to this. Listen to this right now. If you don't watch boxing very much, let me explain exactly what's going on right now. Okay. This guy in Devin Haney, he made his name because people respected the fact that he was jumping from different promoter to different promoter. And why did people respect that? Because you had people like the Charlos talking about, I'm on this side of the street, he on that side of the street, we ain't fighting. Fuck that bullshit. You're a coward if that's your take on the world, right? That's your take on fighting. You're a fucking coward then. But ultimately, you are going to spit this narrative that it's bad to be fighting on different networks and under different promoters. Oh, they throwing them to the wolves. You're the wolf champ? You're the wolf? You're the wolf. The guy that lost to the pretty boy Ryan Garcia wasn't even on steroids. He was on something else. You're the wolf. Not Brian Norman. You're the wolf. Okay, sure. I mean, however you got to keep your confidence level up, champ. That's all good with me. Woo! That was a Wilds line. Man, bro, the lack of knowledge you have to be that confident.
You don't have.
But you wouldn't care if they went under?
Oh, that would suck, man.
Oh,
I love Bob Arum. He treated me well. I made history with them.
It would suck, and yet you've been ragging on them the whole time.
Paloma, Cambosis. Yeah, no, I would hate to see them go, but I wish them well.
Yeah. Say it. Say what you want to say. We all know what you want to say. If they would have paid me, there would have been blah 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 blah.
I don't believe you. What's the beef?
I don't have no beef.
Okay.
I don't have.
No, he doesn't have any beef for Ariel. What he's trying to do is he's trying to create a moment and make it sound like he's being sequentious, and he's doing that on purpose so that he can make it sound more combative than it is. No, he doesn't actually have a beef. He's just really stupid in terms of knowing how the sport works.
I don't have any beef with them.
By the way, the teeth here are crazy. That's unbelievable, man.
Thank you. No, I just would hate to see Top Rank go.
Bro, you seem like a douchebag. Oh my God. You couldn't have seemed like a more bigger douche if you tried, bro. Like here's the thing, right? If it's true, then say it. Say it like it's true. Why are you laughing like a schoolgirl about it? You know what I'm saying? But if it's not true, yo, why can't you be a man about it and say, nah, bro, I blah, blah, blah. Nah, bro, I don't fuck with Top Rank. Bob did this. Bob did that. This is so disingenuous. And this conversation's being had in bad faith completely. Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
No, I genuinely have.
You're gonna say it one more time and then you're gonna laugh again.
No.
Yeah. See, Ariel knows. Ariel knows this game, bro. He knows what he's got right now. He's got a clip right here. He knows it. Hey, listen, you don't have to be a live streamer to fucking be a clip farmer. You feel what I'm saying? This is all clip farm shit right here. Don't even pretend like it's not. Right? He knows the conversation. The conversation they're having right now is the sport, right? It's most prolific franchise. Y'all are having a conversation about its death, and you're laughing like it doesn't have a direct impact on you. And for Ariel, it really doesn't, because he can cover MMA and wrestling and go back to DAZN and, work for them and all that. So that doesn't matter to him. For a guy like Devin Haney, not having options, we've already spoken about why it's bad.
No, I gotta say one last thing that we can move on.
Sure.
I genuinely have love for Bob. Bob is.
Is there other people that you don't like?
Bob is a great guy. Derek Harmon. I like Derek. You know Derek Harmon?
No.
Well, he works for Top Rank. And
Todd DeBuff?
Derek Harmon was my first boxing coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he literally my first day in the gym, he taught me how to throw jab, taught me
Wow.
how to throw, like, how to go in the boxing stance. So always will have love for him. Always will have love for Top Rank.
Man, dude, how that's crazy, bro. Like you just, I don't know, you seem like a schoolgirl, dog. Or not even a school, like a school kid. Like, bro, why are you giggling like that? Like, it's a troll, right? It's either a troll or you're uncomfortable. There's nothing funny, right? Unless the joke is that you're lying. The joke is that you're trying to prop up everything that you're saying behind a bunch of shit that you're not saying. So if that's the case, then you're just being a fraud. You know what I'm saying? Or probably a little bit more likely you're being disingenuous to get clicks.
You're gonna be that guy who shows, you know, the meme of the guy who shows up to the funeral. That's gonna be you.
I don't know what meme.
You don't know that one? That dude who showed up to his hater's funeral? That's going to be you. In the nice suit.
No,
that's not going to be you?
Oh.
All right.
They had a good run.
Okay, so you're saying it in the past tense. You think they're done?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, he said it earlier that he thinks they're done. So.
I don't know.
Yeah, they've had a good run.
But maybe they'll get it. Maybe they'll get a network. We never know. Like,
oh, we never know. Let me tell you something. We do know. And yes, they will. 100% they will get another network. That's not even close to a question. I mean, whatever. Look, I don't know that we get a deal by this year. I don't know that. But what I do know is this. It makes little sense to start a deal in the final quarter, right? And likely what would end up happening if they did strike a deal now is it would be, what's it called? Post-dated or forward-dated, whatever, where it would say like, oh, our first fight's going to be like January, whatever, or February, whatever. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't even be a deal that would start this year either way. So if you're in a position where you don't have to get a deal done quickly because you don't have a fight on the horizon, right? We could think about Pacquiao when he was at the tail end of his run, right? There were reports that Top Rank and the network they were associated with at the time weren't willing to pay Pacquiao a certain amount. You know, he ended up going to Showtime. So we've seen this in the past. We've seen this, right? It speaks to how little Devin and Ariel know about the history of the sport, specifically the last like 30 years. Like, we're not even talking about like you don't have to go to Bob Arum, you know, fucking promoting Ali to talk about some of these references that we have and what they mean. I don't know, dude. All I know is if he loses to Brian Norman, good luck talking that shit the way you did. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is good luck talking that shit. I wouldn't advise it, never. Like, unless you got burned, right? Like Floyd. I don't know what was true about the Floyd situation and what wasn't. I do know that Top Rank was not treating him the way that he felt like he deserved. Okay. So when he and Jay Prince and his father and Bob and Todd and a few others walked into a room one day to hammer out a deal, what Bob didn't know is that Floyd was on his way out and there was nothing he could do to stop it. When that happened, Floyd went on the offensive, and that was completely understandable from his perspective, from his side of things. He was mistreated, and he was also not paid what he felt like he was deserved. Now, that's his story, and he deserves to have his story, right? Bob has his, I'm sure. So when you're in that position and you get burned, like, you know, whatever, you can burn that bridge, right? But you look at like Pacquiao, you look at Cotto, and you look at some of the top-ranked darlings that got out of their situation, there was always an open door back. You know, and I mean, it's easy to keep a bridge safely unburned when you're Manny Pacquiao selling millions of pay-per-views, but Top Rank is in a very different position that they were in than compared to 2010. Okay, they are in a very, very different position. And what this position currently suggests is that they have the future of the company, of the sport, well within their hands. Whether it's Abdullah Mason or a handful of the other guys that were mentioned on the show, these guys have real potential and these guys have real ceilings. So it's not vital that Top Rank secures a deal with fucking Paramount or Prime or whoever the fuck in the next few months. What's important is that by 2026, they have a home and they have a place where you can go see Abdullah Mason, where you can go see, everyone that they are pitting as the future of the sport. That's what's important. Okay. It doesn't matter that they're fighting on Facebook or Tubi or Plex or any of the other millions of places. What matters is that they promote it right for eyeballs to see. It is up to the fighter to create moments. Because let me tell you what's going to happen, right? Michaela Mayer is going to fight on Tubi, okay? And however many people are going to see it are going to see it. But if she shows out, okay, and she makes with what's her name, Mary Spencer, if her and Spencer can create a fight that is worth rewatching, or at least a moment that's worth replaying, social media will take it and do what it's supposed to. The idea that fighting on a network somehow limits or maximizes your potential is a failed idea. You are your own creator of your brand. You are your own proprietor of your brand, and your brand can succeed regardless of if you're on DAZN, on pay-per-view, on Tubi, on Facebook, on Showtime, on ESPN. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, someone like Emilio Vargas, right? This guy hasn't been on the biggest airwaves ever in the main event spot. Yeah, he's had some, decent showcases on ESPN and stuff, but it's his social media platform that is propelling him forward. And that is the way it should be. So if Mayer or Spencer end up being in a position where they have a great showing, that is going to be ultimately what matters, not what network you are on, because you can replay the greatest moments of a fighter. And when you are showing out, that dictates your future and success in the sport more than whatever network you last fought on. Fuck, I didn't realize it. Shit. I didn't realize how fucking late it was. Damn it, dude. I was supposed to be off half an hour ago. All right, never mind. Okay, so my nephew plays in the middle school city championship tonight at 6. So I gotta get over there. I was hoping my cousin can give me a ride, but I'm guessing he left already. Oh man, I got so many comments here. Shit, my bad, guys. Let me see. T.O. Trizin, we're saying, appreciate you, Tara. Appreciate you. Is that Poppy? I don't know. Whatever it is, I appreciate you too. Shout out to everybody that subscribed today. How many we got? 4? 4 on Twitch. Nice. What about X? 2 on X? Hell yeah, champ. Appreciate it. Who is that? Let me see. We'll give y'all a shout out. Nah, that wasn't it, champ. That wasn't it. I thought it was, but that wasn't it. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it right here. And in case you were not aware, wait, what day is it? Let me see. Okay, so so Spencer and Mayer are fighting tomorrow. The fuck? Oh, here we go. Jump to this week. So Spencer and Mayer are gonna fight tomorrow. Matthew's also on the card too. He's on the co-main event. So is Lipinets fighting a Canadian that I've not seen fight yet. But you know what? We'll do it live tomorrow, I guess. What time is it gonna start? Let me see. I'm gonna give love to this fight because you know what? Fuck that bullshit interview. We're giving love to this fight, bro. If you listen to me, if you're a boxing fan, yo, we got to show out for this one, bro. You tell everybody to watch this one, man. Fuck Devin Haney and Ariel for making fun of these guys, dude, for real. And I'm a Devin Haney fan. I've been a Devin Haney fan. And that's kind of what upsets me about this is, you know, I gave him so much credit. When I was on the Boxing Voice, people hated Devin. People hated him. Even though his dad would come on all the time and give us time, for whatever reason, people hated him. And I was always giving him credit because what we didn't want were people, fighters using the other side of the street bullshit. That's what we didn't want. And Devin Haney was going wherever the opportunities were. And that I respected, that I appreciated. The fact that Devin can't recognize the value in his own career path for future younger fighters, dude, that's crazy to me. Crazy. It's like the people who come over here, right, from other countries, and then they're like anti-immigration when they get here. You know what I mean? They get legal and they're like, yeah, you know, oh, ICE, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's them people. Like, that's the kind of vibe you give. That's the type of vibe Devin Haney's giving. Like, I did mine, now fuck you and you get yours. Like, damn, bro, that's some ugly shit right there, for real. Especially coming from where you come. Oh, wait, but actually, nah, he ain't from that place. His dad's from that place. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, look, I'm not saying Devin had it easy. I don't know what his childhood was like. In fact, it seems hard because I remember Devin when he was like a 12, 13-year-old kid coming up to Ness at some random amateur boxing thing. And him and his dad talk, you know, Devin came up to Ness and told him he's going to be the next world champion. This is a true story. Okay. So the Boxing Voice has been friends of the Haneys for a very long time. Okay. We had, I think it was Sean Zattel was working for TBV at the time. And he had like a open, you know, door policy with the Haneys and Sean Porter and everybody. So, you know, we've gotten to follow them for a very long time. And, I don't know. Maybe he's just playing the heel. You know, my hope isn't that he just hasn't been fighting and just learned nothing. But I was watching this. What was it? Fuck. It was a football movie. What was it? Fuck. Hold up. Oh, it was him. That's what it was. Have y'all seen that movie? Him? Let me show y'all right quick. It's the Jordan Peele movie. That came out. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Watch. Hey, please like and subscribe. If you are on, it's Infighting FX on Twitch, IG, X, YouTube, and Facebook. If you've appreciated the conversation, if you're a fan of FightsATW and Abe Gonzalez, which of course you have to be if you're a combat sports fan, then tap in, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're on every single day, Monday through Thursday, and then we are on for the big fights on Saturday, the big wrestling cards on Sunday, all of that live every week. You know, guys like Machine Gun Matt stop by, Super Mech. So a terrific panel every single week. MMA, wrestling, boxing, AEW, WWE, UFC, everything we cover. In fact, I'm gonna start covering like more sports in general. I think I had talked to Matt about that. We were talking yesterday about the crazy ass Dodger Toronto game that went into the 105th inning, I think it was, and ended at like 2 a.m. or something crazy. We were talking to, he has a friend that says that they should get rid of the intentional walk, which is not, it's stupid. That would be stupid, right? Because if you get rid of the intentional walk, what's to stop this, right? What's to stop the old school throwing 4 balls, right? Now, you could argue, well, having to walk somebody is a lot different than an intentional walk, and it is, right? I've seen guys hit home runs trying to be intentional walk. I've seen that happen where you leave it up a little too close to the zone. You're already throwing high. So if you get that bat barrel in the right angle, bro, that shit just flies over the fence for real, for real. But that would be stupid, right? This is what they should have done. Let me tell y'all. They got to like the 12th inning. They'd already used like 5 pitchers from the bullpen. So that doesn't even count their starters. They're running out of pitchers, right? And you have to protect the pitching because this is a 7-game series. You know, Ohtani played till 2 a.m. He had like 8 at bats, and then he had a pitch the next night, yesterday. That's crazy. They lost the game. 2-2 is the series. And if this happens again, I have the answer. Major League Baseball, listen to me. If they get to the 12th inning and both teams have used at least 5 pitchers each, including the starter, not including the starter, sorry, then what I suggest is we fly in Drake for the Toronto Blue Jays and Kendrick for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Each one of them get 5 swings, and whoever gets the best hit, that team wins. I mean, how is that unfair? I think that would really prove who is better, the city of LA or the city of Toronto. If you ask me, it's the perfect move. But I want to show you all this though real quick, because this is kind of like what I was talking about with Devin. So me and my wife saw this movie, Him. I don't know if y'all have seen it. This is the one with Marlon Wayans. Oh, geez, what the heck? How did this happen? Whoa, I don't know what I did here. Yikes, that's not going to work either. Yo, I don't know what I did. This thing is like all crazy. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's see. Let's try that. No, you know what? Let's try this one right here. How's that look? Still shitty. That's all right. Okay, so this is the movie Him, okay, and it stars Marlon Wayans, and wait, who's the guy that plays Marlon Wayans? Or not Marlon Wayans. This guy, Tyreek Withers. He plays Cameron Cade. So if you don't know the movie,
there are a lot of people.
Do I look at you or the camera?
You'll just look right at me. You'll just ignore the camera.
Okay.
There are a lot of people saying you could be the next great quarterback. I can already see it now. Cam running down the tunnel with the crowd chanting his name.
I hear you've been invited to train with legend Isaiah White himself. Care to elaborate?
I want to be the GOAT. Cameron King. Great meeting you. I'm a fan. That's crazy.
okay, so if you've seen this,
Let's play a little catch. We going to the man.
You want to play at your highest level?
okay, so if you're not familiar, then you just haven't seen it, and that's okay. So what the movie's about, let me just stop that. What the fuck? All right, that's weird. Okay, so if you haven't seen the movie, let me tell you real quick what it's about. So I thought it was going to be about like a guy, okay. So if you know Aaron Rodgers, he got drafted when Brett Favre was still with the Green Bay Packers. And there was a narrative there, right? Like, should Brett Favre, who is the starting quarterback and the franchise, like the face of the franchise for years, right? Is it his job to get the next guy ready in Aaron Rodgers? And that was the big narrative, right? If you've seen the Brett Favre documentary on Netflix, they talked a lot about how the media was trying to like pressure Brett Favre into this and like making him look like a dick. And, you know, he maybe is a dick for not helping out, right? Because it's like, this team paid you. This franchise loved you. And so if you're not going to be playing anymore or in the next 5 years, then why not be helping out Aaron Rodgers to, you know, duplicate the success that you once had? But that's not what this was about at all. So Cameron Cade is the #1 high school recruit, okay, in America. And everyone knows he's going first round. So the combine is coming up and he's training and he gets attacked. Somebody like they don't know who it is, but a fan or somebody attacks him, right? They don't know who it is. And he's got a big scar on his head. And so the doctor says that he could heal, but he can't play right now. Like he can't get hit. If he were to get hit before it heals, that'll be the rest of his career. So he skips the combine. And all of the NFL team, well, it's not the NFL, it's the UFAA is what it is, not the NFL. I mean, it's supposed to be the NFL, but they can't use the NFL. This was like a super anti-football movie, by the way. So Cade is supposed to be the #1 draft pick. He misses the combine, and it hurts his position. And everybody's saying he's going to go further down in the draft. So Marlon Wayne's character plays for a team called the San Antonio Saviors, which, man, it's such a layered movie when you think about it. It's like, who does that #1 high school recruit? What is he to the family? He's the savior, right? Because when he makes millions and millions in football, guess who gets a new house? Mom. Guess who gets a new truck? Dad. Guess who gets their college paid for? Baby sister. You know, so this is the ticket. This is the savior, right? So the San Antonio Saviors, they're still interested in drafting Cam because Marlon Wayne's character is supposedly retiring at the end of the year. So Marlon Wayne's character offers Cam to come to his home area. It's like a training place he has. He has like 2 football fields in this place. It's huge, right? It's like this underground bunker in New Mexico or Arizona, something like that. And basically Marlon Wayne's puts him through a week of like crazy shit, like crazy. That's the whole movie. So everything I've explained is like the first 15, 20 minutes, right? The movie is so layered. It's so good. And if you didn't play sports growing up, I'll explain some stuff to you because I did. I played sports all my life. It was good in a lot of ways and it was bad in a lot of ways. One of the ways I saw that was bad is that there were fathers and by the way, a lot of these guys were like some of my best friends that push their kids to a place that's, I think, unhealthy. There's nothing wrong with supporting your child in baseball or football or basketball or every sport. You know, I've known a lot of kids and girls that played, every sport, tennis, basketball, golf, softball, a lot of different sports. And growing up, there is a line that the parents will push. And in this movie, they did it so well. You know, the dad had this saying, he would say, no guts, no glory. But that was every time that his kid was feeling sick, was feeling hurt. And it's like, you have to push beyond those moments. You have to push beyond those limits. And that is true. If you want to make it at the highest level in sports, really the highest level in anything, you have to push beyond your limits. But when you're a child, what does that do? When the only love you get from your father comes from the football field. I don't think that you can be a I don't think you can be a productive human being like that. I don't. I don't think that growing up in a way where it's like the only love you receive is based on the pain that you receive as well. Like that's a fucked up message to give your kid. And while us as adults can see through that bullshit, once you're like 19, 20, 21, and you've lived that it's like, you know what it is? You ever seen the Ricky Bobby movie with Will Ferrell? And he's like, you know, if you're not first, you're last. And then years later, right, decades later, after this kid literally had his father ingrain that message in him, the dad's like, what the fuck does that mean? You could be second, you could be third, hell, you could be fucking fifth. And it's like the dad knows it's bullshit, right? If you're not first, you're last is like the dumbest thing you could ever think, right? Because like I play golf. If I shoot 105, that's not a good score. And if I shoot 99, that's not really a good score either. But the difference between 105 and 99 means that you are getting better, and you are getting a lot better. So to say that, you know, there's only first or last, like that's stupid shit, right? That's not how you get better. Not at all. Nobody is the best at anything. Okay. Nobody is the greatest of all time. For Tom Brady to be called the greatest of all time, I'll remind you what happened when his team almost went perfect. And then the Giants and Eli Manning, of all people, fucked it up. You remember that? So even if you're the GOAT, that doesn't mean that winning comes every time and it comes easy. And so I say all this, the whole point I'm making here in this movie where Cade is shown a tough love by his father, who constantly has him ask, who are you? I'm him. That's the whole message of the movie. And he'd scream at his son, who are you? And the little boy would go, I'm him. I'm him. Bro, that kind of mentality where you're him, yo, that's a fucked up mentality to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to be him every time. And if you are going to be him, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Because it don't mean you're just going to win. And so for a guy like Devin Haney to have been coached by his father to be exactly what he is today, how much of that blind focus on boxing and being the best has negated your ability to learn anything else? I'm not saying that's the case. I haven't spoken with Devin in years. I haven't spoken with his father in years. I have no idea what's going on with them other than what I've read online. All I can say is that it looks like very little growth for Devin. For a guy who was in a situation where people were calling him shit and people were like talking all this crap to him, to have not learned anything from it and to have this perspective on the sport seems like real fucking weird, bro. That seems like real fucking weird. But that is the cost of trying to elevate your kids to this level, right? I have a cousin who was very, very good at baseball. Very good. Probably could have played almost anywhere in the state that he wanted other than like a D1. Both of his kids right now are playing baseball and they play tournament baseball in Texas, which if you know anything about baseball, tournament seasons in Texas, I mean, that's like the highest level it gets. You know, they fly people out from Alabama, Oklahoma, teams from California come out, Florida, you know. And the other thing is, you know, if you don't know this, when it comes to the sports like football and baseball, Texas, California, Florida, or really California, Texas, they produce the best players because we can play year round. You know, you go to Nebraska, you go to the East Coast, you go further up north in the United States, and you got seasons, and you can only get good at baseball during that one season because it snows and it's too cold to play. You got tornadoes, rain, whatever. But in Texas and California, certain parts, we play all year round. I played every single weekend. And if I wasn't playing summer ball, then we were playing winter ball. And if we weren't playing winter ball, we were playing fall ball. And if we weren't playing fall ball, we were playing spring ball. And between all of those were tournaments all across the state of Texas. My cousins, my two younger cousins, are living that life right now. But they are like 5 and 7. And oh man, I just think it's really, really fucking tough to do that to them. You know what I'm saying? This weekend we had a grad party and they had come from a tournament and they lost. And they were going to play on Sunday in the losers bracket. And so they were showing me some of the fitness stuff they do, right? And they're so young, they don't understand anything about fitness. You know, they had my cousin doing these fucking push-ups with their shoulders out like this. And if you know anything about push-ups in baseball, doing push-ups like this is the fastest way to fuck up your shoulder as a kid. There are two things that if you want your kid to be playing baseball past middle school, past high school, there are two things you should not do. One, do not let him throw a curveball until he's probably in high school. And two, do not let him do push-ups like this. You will. That is the quickest way to fuck up their shoulders. Have them do the elbows in like this, okay? Elbows to the rib cages every time. Look at me. Look at that. Have your kids do that if they're playing baseball. Not this, but this. All right. Don't clip that part either. But you know, I found myself like not yelling at them, but like getting on them. Like, nah, come on. We do them like this. You know, there was one point where my cousin Adam, who's a dipshit, was making jokes, right? He was making like fart noises and stuff. And like, I lost it, dude. I fucking lost it. Legit. I'm looking at both these kids, 5 and 7-year-old, in their eyes. And I'm staring in their eyes and I'm like, don't you fucking listen to them. You ignore them. They're losers. They are losers who couldn't make it in baseball, and they're losers that couldn't make it in even softball, men's adult softball. You're going to have fans screaming at you to strike out, that you're a loser, that you're all this. And it's people like that who are going to try to get in your way, and you have to ignore them. Dude, it took like 20, 30 minutes before I realized what the fuck I was saying. I'm like, oh my God, I sound like a psycho. Like these kids are just trying to have fun, and my cousin's making fart noises, which isn't cool. You know what I mean? Like they got to learn before they can start making jokes and shit. But like, I'm really trying to help them. Like for real, for real. Like, let me show you how to do an actual squat. Let me show you how to do an actual sit-up, an actual push-up, because you shouldn't be touching weights at all at that age. So let me show you how to do body weight stuff. But then like I get into this psycho mode where I'm like, nah, bro, like I know what it's going to take. And what it's going to take is your ability to block out all that other bullshit. You can get as good as you can in the gym. You can get as good as you can on the practice field. But when it comes to that fucking game, man, that mental shit's as important as the physical shit. Right. And they say baseball is like 90% mental, 10% physical. I don't know if that's true, but it definitely is a ratio that supports mental side of it. But yo, I mean, I'm telling like a 7-year-old that his fucking uncle is a loser who couldn't fucking make it in sports. And I saw it. I saw myself like going crazy about this shit. It's tough, man. It's tough. Shout out to everybody who coaches their kids. Shout out to everybody who, has that kind of support system and stuff. Yo, real quick, I got to show this. I showed this last night before we tap out. Check this out. This is so funny. First of all, AI is getting too crazy, bro. It's getting too crazy. Look at this fucking video right here. This is nuts. Somebody made this shit.
He's climbing all the way up. He's on the tip of the cage. Don't do it. No. Oh my God, he's going up. No way. Get down from there. Big jab. Oh my God, he's climbing the
Oh my God, I love this.
He's going. Oh my God, he's climbing all the way up.
Look at his nose over the roof.
He's thinking no way. Oh my God, he's gonna do it. He's on the top
This
of the
place
cage.
is about to blow.
The damn Bigelow. Those are manufacturing outfits.
There's no way. No way he tries this. He's on the top of the cage. Do it. Oh, he's jumping. He's climbing all the way up. He's on the tip of the cage.
Yo, I'm sorry. That is hilarious. Listen, that has been the show. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. We will be back tomorrow with 2 topics that I said we were gonna do them today, but we have the Saturday Night Main Events thing, so we'll talk about it tomorrow. I have an article coming out this week on FightsATW.com just in time for Halloween. The 5 spookiest matches in wrestling history. Of course, we're going to have like Halloween Havoc stuff. You know, I have to put at least a Mankind match in there, either Hell in a Cell or Boiler Room Brawl. I think the Buried Alive match is definitely an underrated spooky match. Maybe something with the Boogeyman. I was talking to Matt. I'm like, dude, Boogeyman is probably one of the most spookiest characters, and yet can't even tell you what feud he ever had with anyone, literally. But yeah, we'll be talking about the spookiest matches in wrestling history to be a companion piece to the article on FightsATW.com this week. And you can go check out my Raw recap on FightsATW.com as well. Plus a host of things more. plus a host of more things. And then we're also going to be talking about the most gruesome cuts in boxing and MMA history, just in time for Halloween. So we got the scariest matches and the most gruesome cuts in boxing and MMA history all tomorrow. And it is going to be at, let me see what time the mayor fight starts. What's the matter, mama? What's the matter? Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here, mama's. Good girl. Come on. Okay. Let's go. Tell everybody how much weight you lost. Say, I lost 7 pounds, guys. Can you see? 7 pounds. Right? Good girl, Canella. Good girl. Okay, so the Spencer fight with Mayor. Oh, Dinky Winky, you're such a good girl. What do you want? You want a nacky, don't you? Of course you do. When she licks her lips, that means she wants a snack. You want a snack? You want a nacky? Who wants a nacky? Yep, you see that? That means her fat butt wants a snack. Okay, so Mayor tomorrow starts at, oh, that's not bad, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So let's say 6 o'clock. No, that's a long time. Let's say 7 o'clock. By 7 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be live watching the Spencer and Mayor fight with several other topics and potential guests that we have tomorrow. But if you were around for the Kenny Florian interview, you know that we're not announcing guests until the day, so that they until they confirm for sure on the day, then we announce the guests. That's just where we are. But tonight, I want to remind you, is Twitch night. We got Undisputed on taps, and we are going to purchase the Manny Pacquiao Senator Pack, which was live yesterday. And it includes Manny Pacquiao, Ricardo Mayorga. I think that Madison Square Garden was also added in this pack. I'm not sure. They had like a bogus Vegas and a bogus other thing. I assumed at some point they'd start putting like real, places in there. I mean, not that I'm mad about, fighting in Atlantis, but I don't know. It'd be nice to have like Cowboy Stadium and like a bunch of other places that we've had before, by the way. So yeah, the Mary Spencer and Michaela Mayer starts at 7 o'clock. We'll be live at 7-ish, 7:30-ish. Yeah, we'll call it 7. Oh man, what else is that? No. Okay. Yeah, so we'll be live tonight on Twitch. And we're gonna run the Senator Pack with the Undisputed. You know what? I think I'm gonna do like a little tourney because now I have Juan Manuel Marquez, Marcos Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, and Manny Pacquiao. So we can run the 4-man featherweight tournament and see who Undisputed believes was the best of that featherweight era. But yeah, we'll run that tonight and maybe some WWE 2K25. Who knows? To be able to know when we're live, all you got to do is head to Twitch, Infighting FX, spelled INFIGHTING, and the F and the X are at the end, all one word together. Infighting Exchange, Infighting FX for short. And you can go to Facebook, IG, Twitch, YouTube, and X. As well as TikTok, by the way. I haven't been live on TikTok in a little bit, but we're going to start going live again on there to do the workouts. So remember, that's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays, with the Twitch nights being Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but probably won't do it this Friday. But until tomorrow, everybody, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate Lugo, Pena. Who was it? Oh, and Machine Gun Matt in the chat as well. Shout out to Super Meg. Shout out to Indy. Shout out to Texas Castaway. Shout out to, I was going to say StreamYard. And everybody else that was in the chat that I missed. IG, shout out to everybody that was in there. Appreciate y'all. Until tomorrow. Peace.